Hello guys, welcome to my final course project. So in this class I had to make a video game and now I have to present it and post it on YouTube. So that is what I'm doing. So thank you for watching. So my game is called Building America and you guys all know how much I love Hamilton. So that's what it's based around. Building America, the Revolutionary War, and all that fun stuff. So yep, I'll give you the game overview. So it's everyone has said that Hamilton the Musical would make a great game. The player creates virtual people and places them in houses and help direct their actions and satisfy their desires. Players can either place their virtual characters in pre-constructed homes or buildings or build homes themselves. Throughout the game, players have a series of choices to pick from. These players' choices decides the path of which the character goes down. Throughout the story, the player will meet the United States founding fathers and learn about their stories. Finally, a 3D game that is educational and appeals to the masses. So, as you can tell, this is supposed to be an educational and 3D game. So, I took it upon myself to learn everything I can about all the battles, and you get to meet Thomas Jefferson, Brent Franklin, Lafayette, Alexander Hamilton. Of course, I just put the ones. James Madison's in there. And that's really fun because you also get to create relationships with them, which we could never do now because it is, the year 2019 and this happened in like 1775. So, and you get to be their friends and you can become their right-hand man. So the game starts on March 1st, 1770, 5 days before the Boston Massacre. And the reason I did this is because it gives you five days in my game time to figure out who your allies are, your enemies are, figure out what side you're fighting for.
Grammar and spelling.
That's an awkward ad. Sorry, I have music playing in the background. Let's finish that. Okay. You get to decide what team you're fighting for, if you're going to help, if you're going to participate, or not, if you're going to be a bystander. And you get to build, friendships in this time, so I thought it was the perfect amount. And as time goes on, you hit different events, you learn about new things, and finally, the first big milestone you guys will hit is, where did it go? The Battle of Lexington, which is the first mark of the Revolutionary War, and that's April 19th, 1775. And this is the same thing from here. You will decide for the rest of the American Revolution if you will be, what side you will be on, who you trust. And of course, like always, you can build friendships throughout the thing or make enemies. And am I saying that right? Enemies? Yes. So that's fun. So the American, whether it's helping win the American Revolution or helping run a colony is the main objective of the game. So if you decide not to participate in the revolution or not, you can help run one of the colonies back home and help decide. You can be one of the founding fathers, help the founding fathers through their things, help write the Constitution, help all that fun stuff. One thing that's different about this game than most is, like I said, it's a choose your own story while you also get to build your own character. Most of the time, choose your own stories. You don't get to, it's just that. You can play little side games. You gotta remember things to bump you up to the next level. And the next levels are pretty much just the next battle up. So, they go in order of the battles. And you end with the Battle of Yorktown, whether or not you make it. So you can die in this. And, there's ways you can die if you get shot in one of the battles and you get an illness and infection and you die, or if you have a strong enough enemy, you can die in a duel, or you can just die on the warfield in general. So you can die, and the main goal is to make it to the end or help America make it to the end, but if you don't, then you lose. So that's fun. So going back to the levels are made so each level is going to be harder as you go up. So the Battle of Yorktown is going to be the hardest one. But depending on how long and how much things you have to complete. So whether it's like make friends with this person or talk to this so-and-so person, how many like steps you have to get to the end of the level depends on how long the battle is. So if the battle's only like 1 day, it's going to be a short one. Whereas if the battle is like 5 days, it's going to be a pretty long one. And of course the very end one is going to be the longest. And the reason I made this game was because I'm not a huge video game fan. I'm going to tell you, to be honest. I'm not into that shooting. I'm not into the racing cars. And I was like, well, I do love learning about history. So I was like, maybe I can do something that history people will love. And like the only game I play is Sims. So I don't really know any other games. So I created this in hopes that we could get some different type of game to the table where it's about history, it's about stuff that happened in our past, and you can learn more about it. You can learn who George Washington was, how he became the president, what his trials he went through. And one of my plans was, if this actually did happen, I was hoping, I'd go talk to historians. And if you guys don't know who Lin-Manuel Miranda is, I would talk to him and ask him for help about Alexander Hamilton, because he wrote the musical. So this game will be pretty easy to control, and somebody just walked in. Be quiet. This game will be pretty easy to control. It's going to be a PC game, so you can just click. So if you want to talk to somebody, you use your mouse and you click on them, and it will have options that pop up like greet nice, greet mean, greet, and you can build your relationship that way. And for our battles, you guys there's many different weapons. I decided, since this game did take place in the past, there's going to be a lot of old school weapons. There's no technology besides the technology they have. So, like, there's muskets, pistols, rifles, tomahawks, axes, swords. Very simple things. And the gameplay. So with the gameplay, you're going to take your choices, right? So one will either be, your choices can either affect you now or farther down the road, depending on which one you choose. And there's about 100 different endings that you could choose from. So whether it's, you're talking to George Washington and he's like, do you want to help me fight? Or, you can be like, run away, scaredy. Like, if you run away, George Washington's going to remember that and not help you again. But if you help him, then he's going to consider you an ally and give you like a little boost here and there. Another thing that your characters has is they have needs. So there's going to be a little need bar, and if it's in the red, green is good, yellow is okay, and red is bad. If it's in the red, that means you're going to like probably die or pass out or whatever it is. So like if you're running low on sleep and you get it in the red, you're going to pass out. But the way you fix that is you just go to your house or on a bench and sleep. Food, you could die from food, not having enough food. So that's where it comes in, is to have allies, because if you have allies, they can help you out if you're low on food. Because, you have to have a job too. So you also, like I said, this game is going to be very easy to control. The save menu, it's just going to save right onto the disc. And to control your people or the camera, it just follows it. And you just click on whatever you want. If you want to pick something up, you click on it and it'll say like pick up, or things you can do with it. Like if it's a newspaper, it'll say like read newspaper, or tear newspaper into shreds. So you can do any of that. Let's see. So, like I said, there's levels, and your levels depend on your character. So some challenges, they have challenges within them, kind of. So your challenges will be both physical and mental. So it can be anywhere. Your challenge can be from fighting in a war to getting a really bad disease and you have to fight it off or figure out how to get it. Or even just having a family member's death, because you will have family, you will have friends that can die. There'll be skill levels. So for one challenge, you might need to get your skill level up to your skill level of woodworking into 3, and you're only at 2, so you have to do certain activities to get that up.